Chapel at Rectory is something we do every month with the entire school community. It is a chance for all of us to come together in this beautiful space to stop, pause, and reflect, and to take a look at some of the things that we all have in common. And it's a chance for students to get together and share their thoughts, their reflections. So it's really meant to be a place that is safe to share the spiritual side of ourselves. We take a different theme each month. For example, we've used the theme of new beginnings. In the fall, we used the theme of letting go, the way a tree lets go of its leaves.
And we're very conscious about what we choose for the theme every month to see that it fits what's going on and the core values of our school. And we try to emphasize those and try to give a similar message that there's goodness, there's kindness, and there's spirituality and gratefulness in everything if you take the opportunity to find it.
We choose a variety of readings from various world religions as well as non-religious sources, all touching on that theme.
The more we let God take us over, the more truly ourselves we become, because He made us. We always struggle so hard to hold on, but God says, trust me and let go.
We try to keep it as student-driven as possible, so it would be very common to have 20 kids participating in one way or another, whether it be lighting our candle of peace, doing a reading, or participating in student music.
Lift your head and look around, you will be found. And I know when I need it, I can count on you, like 4, 3, 2.
The chapel service each month has a sort of a very reliable structure, so kids kind of know what they're coming into. And we begin with a reading as a group, the Rectory Chapel Covenant, which is sort of our promise to one another that we're going to respect each other's journeys wherever they may take us and whatever background we come from. And then we go through a series of readings, some music, and a reflection that usually is presented by myself, but sometimes we have students share their ideas and thoughts. Other times we have faculty members do that. And really the purpose of chapel is to acknowledge that we are all spiritual beings, whether we are coming from religious backgrounds or not, that there's a part of ourselves that needs nurturing and needs some attention that may not normally happen in the context of a classroom or a sports field. So it's an opportunity to share in that collective experience and nurture who we are in our soul. Because we have a student body that represents many different backgrounds culturally and many different faith backgrounds or no faith background, we really try to make chapel an experience that is universal and just makes it a safe space for anyone coming from any background. It's also an opportunity for kids to, if they're comfortable, to share what it is that they believe. And I'm being approached by kids who are wanting to talk to me about being Greek Orthodox, for example, being Muslim, and telling me things that they would like to incorporate into the next time we do chapel. And that's really exciting to me because I don't think if we weren't providing this opportunity, I don't think these conversations would even come up. So we had a really powerful moment at our first chapel in September, which the theme was welcoming the stranger. And in our opening remarks, I asked students to raise their hand if they could say the word welcome in whatever language was their native language. So I had them all come up and they said welcome in Korean and Japanese and Chinese and Spanish. And we had one student from Ukraine and one student from Russia come up, and they were standing next to each other. And when they said welcome, the first student from Ukraine said it, and then the student from Russia said it, and it was the same word.
Say to Ukraine, welcome.
And you could just sort of feel and hear the feeling that probably we were all experiencing, which was like, wow, we're living right now at a time when these two countries are at war, and here we are together saying that same word of welcome side by side. And it was really, really powerful.
My name is the Reverend Sandra Kosman, and I am the priest in charge here at Christ Church in Pomfret. I live in the house where the school was started, and sometimes late at night when I hear things knocking around, I wonder if it's the ghosts of the schoolboys of the past. I enjoy having the young people from Rectory School come here for worship because it allows me to participate in their spiritual development. As a young person in the church, I enjoyed coming into the church and thinking about how I might be part of the worship experience of a community. So if I'm able to provide that for the young people of Rectory School, it's such a blessing. When they come forward and are leading the music or reading quotations or sharing their stories, I see their spiritual lives developing. I think that spirituality and a prayer is a muscle, and by making a place and a circumstance where young people can be part of using those muscles, we're serving them well. And I think that being part of chapel and being part of this community will help them grow in those areas and in those ways.
I get a lot out of being part of chapel. I myself am a spiritual person, and I feel very strongly that there is a bigger picture that we should all remind ourselves about. So for me, it's a chance to share that, what I think is very important, to share that with others.
I love the community. The spirituality that comes from being part of a welcoming community, comes from being part of a group, a school that believes in something of a higher power somewhere. It's special, it's important, and it's been very fulfilling for me.
I really do feel strongly about the need for all of us to have a moment of quiet, a moment of peace for people who don't have this as part of their lives. It kind of shows us how to do it. And doing this, I think, shows, hopefully, is teaching students that this is important.
I think that it's important for the students to understand what the importance of a space like this is. Not so much the religion itself, but the respect that you accord to anyone's religion. The respect you accord to a space that is a worship space, whether it's yours or anyone else's.
I would hope that students leave Rectory, for one, remembering that they had this time to just stop and to think and reflect and feel in a way that they may not ever have done before. I also hope students would leave Rectory and say, there might be a place for me somewhere, a community that I can connect with. And I also hope it provides kids with an experience of being with others that share different beliefs. And all of these experiences, I hope, would make our students, when they leave Rectory, be more loving, compassionate, and peaceful young adults in the world.